receiving that information. We might have some valuable input on it.
I agree to that, but we're not here to solve everybody's day-to-day problems. The tribal council is not here to solve day-to-day problems, but we get blamed for day-to-day problems a lot.
Everything that goes wrong in Redwood is not the tribal council's fault.
I did swap Butch though.
This meeting is being recorded.
Here, Johnny, we live? All right, we are going to first take action from executive session items. Council's been in session since 3 o'clock this afternoon, so we have some business. First item is under 4.1, would entertain a motion to approve cash flow budget for November 2025 in the amount of $551,500.
So moved.
Motion by Butch, second by Angie. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. The next order of business is to accept the compliance report for September 2025.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Butch, I heard you wrote it down from earlier.
Yeah.
And a second by Rick, not Nikki. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Item 4C, we did not have any action. There was no gaming commission meeting held in September 2025. Item 4D would entertain consideration for resolution of rehabilitation as presented.
So moved.
Second. Motions by Rick, second by Shania.
Madam Chair, in discussion?
Yep.
I'd ask that council authorize a conforming resolution, and I'll work with Erik Lien on that.
Absolutely. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, one abstention, Nikki. And we need a resolution number, motion does carry.
Resolution 10/2025-A.
Also in executive session, the council did take action on committee or has consideration for committees, items 13, 14, and 15 on their agenda. Would you first like to take action on item 13, Business Development Corporation applicants?
I'll motion to repost.
We have a motion by Angie to repost, second by Butch. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Aye. Who opposed? Abstention? Motion carries 4-2. We have consideration of the health board applicant.
Motion to approve the applicants. Second.
We have a motion by Rick to approve the applicant, second by Angie. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We have item 15, consideration of the membership committee applicants. There were 6 applicants and 5 for consideration as we discussed in executive.
Motion to accept the 5.
Second. We have a motion by Angie to accept the 5, second by Misty. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. No action taken under item 4E. We will move to item number 7 on the agenda, community comments and concerns. Would anyone like to, come on. If you would please introduce yourself.
And if you
And
hit the right button.
Push the button on the right.
The right button.
Yes. There you go.
Am I good? All right, all set. Good afternoon. My name is Lien. I live over in Bayfield. Spend time here in Red Cliff regularly. Work here in the summers and a lot of dear friends and community over over here. I am a community organizer and also a privacy advocate, and recently I've been organizing and working with some members of the community here in Bezhigogaabaw County to do some research about flock safety cameras. And noticing that it was on your agenda this evening, I just wanted to come and say a few words about it. I know the presenters will be telling you all about Flock, but just to give a brief gist in case you don't know already, Flock is a for-profit company that makes money by selling automated license plate reader cameras and subscriptions to their AI-powered database to mostly police departments and also some private entities. These automated license plate readers automatically capture images of every passing car on the roadway, and they create a searchable database that can be used to read people's patterns of movement, no warrant required. This is very, very new technology, and it has very little regulation. It's been adopted quite rapidly across the country just in the last few years, with little to no public input in most places, including Bezhigogaabaw County. In recent months, and just I'd say the past year quite significantly, as information about Flock and the way it works has become more public and people have done more research, there has been a pretty big wave of pushback against this kind of surveillance. Just in recent months, Flock has had contracts canceled by municipalities such as Evanston, Illinois, Austin, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Oak Park, Illinois, Sedona, Arizona, and many, many others, citing mostly privacy concerns around potential violation of Fourth Amendment rights against illegal search and seizure, poor data practices by Flock, as well as Flock's recent cooperation with the Federal Immigration, Customs and Enforcement Agency. At a recent Bezhigogaabaw County budget meeting, there was a letter delivered to the county board with 20+ signatures expressing some of these concerns and asking for the Flock money to be taken out of the Bezhigogaabaw County budget. There were also 7 people who came here in person and gave testimony to that effect. So I just kind of wanted to put this information out there. I think it's really important context to having this conversation, and I hope that, in your conversation today, you can consider whether you think flock safety really will help people be safe in this community. And if anyone's interested, we're actually hosting a public presentation on Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Washburn Library, where we're going to talk a little more in depth about the research and just space for having a bigger community conversation about it and asking questions and stuff. So, thank you for your time. Thanks for listening.
Is there anyone else this evening that would like to provide community comment and concern? If not, we are going to move on our agenda. Item 8 this evening is camera discussion with Kyle, Sheriff Williams, CC Paul here, and Officer Chase. You guys are welcome to come to the table if you would like.
They're the ones who got all the info.
Okay. Come on up, Chief.
Good evening.
Council does have a copy of all the materials that were provided as well.
Okay, so you have the letter that pretty much summarizes what the objective is. Provided the proposed location with an overhead view and some lane capture of what the camera's viewing point would be. I mean, it's an estimation, but it gives you a general idea of what the viewing angles are and the pole location and then the height. Also was the letter from the concerned citizens to the city of Bayfield, the sheriff's response. Just wanted to be transparent with that, so I presume that potentially some concerns are shared by any community members and just how the sheriff had addressed those. So I don't want to speak to stuff that you already know. I'm assuming I'm reading the material and can just answer some questions.
Kyle or the sheriff, could you please give an overview a little bit, because not everybody has the materials that we have. You know, we just had somebody come up in community comments and concerns, and this is being broadcast live. There is multiple people now who have heard that person's point of view and would like to, you know, have you guys give an overview. it will take a picture of a license plate and the description of the car. There's a NCIC, they have it's called a hot list, and so if there's a car that's stolen, if there's an Amber Alert, missing person, something like that on this hot list, it matches that plate with the hot list, and then we get an alert that says this, vehicle with that plate, hit such and such a camera. Then we have to go and verify that that was the actual plate and vehicle. With this, we've recovered, I think it's 5 stolen vehicles with the SWAT cameras. We've tracked down and helped locate several different persons who were suicidal, who wandered, people didn't even know the direction of travel that they went. We were able to punch their plate number into our clock system and see that they had crossed our cameras at certain times. We've been able to help with that. That has helped give us a timeline and a direction of travel where these people were. There's no personal information that's associated with it. When we call it running a plate, when the vehicle comes by, that's all they get is the plate number and the vehicle description. There's no names associated with it. There's no owners associated with it or anything like that. It's just license plate and vehicle description.
How long is the data stored?
30 days. Every 30 days. The data as far as the license plate and pictures are stored for 30 days and then it deletes. There's an audit system, so we can audit who accesses our cameras. If I were to run a plate number and access the system, that's kept, I think, indefinitely, where we can go back and check to make sure to see how many times I access the system, how many times the deputies access the system. That's kept indefinitely. The actual license plate and pictures are kept for 30 days.
So the data is erased after 30 days, but you could go and search a license plate and pull the information indefinite?
No, not the license plate. I can search, I could look and search and see that Kyle
Has
had
searched.
searched. Yeah, and I can see what he searched and why he searched it. But not actually, but the actual data that's captured is erased after 30 days.
How new is this?
We've had them 3 years, and so older than that, I guess I don't know the actual startup.
And is this AI?
Correct. It's an AI-assisted platform. The cameras use AI to capture the license plate and the vehicle data. So what's really beneficial, not only getting the alerts, is if there was an attempted child abduction or a child abduction. Right now it could take, depending where it happens, it could take an hour for us to respond. It could take even half hour, 20 minutes. But if someone called and said a white Toyota with, blue license plate just attempted to abduct a child, we can run that information in the clock system to see if that a white Toyota with a license plates, or a bumper sticker in the back window, we could run that to check and see if that crossed any of our cameras. So now we can have a better vehicle description, we could have a license plate, we could have a direction of travel even.
Where are the other cameras located?
Cable, the roundabout, Fort Wayne.
Okay.
Fort Wayne, and Iron River.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just cut you off? Sorry, go ahead. You're senior to me. Go ahead.
On the situation like the child abduction, if, let's say, the scenario you just spoke about, that there was a child abducted or potentially, or, attempted in Redcliffe in the new housing, okay? and that was called into, you could see the direction of travel just, I mean, if that was located at your proposed area, you could see the time it passed there, or you could see if it passed there. And then with the other cameras, you could kind of track it.
You could ultimately, yes. We could, see if we knew I'm just using this white Cadotte right here in front of me as in that example, but so if we knew it was that white Cadotte, then we could access our cameras. We could have dispatch access our cameras for us, and then as we're responding to the scene, they could be running that vehicle to see. It might have driven back and forth past these cameras a couple times earlier, and all of a sudden we have a better description and we have a license plate number. If it happened, say it happened in City of Bayfield, and they said the car went northbound, now we can punch that information in, and if it doesn't cross the camera here, we know it turned somewhere between the casino and Bayfield. If we narrow down the search and or at least the directions of travel and stuff like that.
Can I ask one question?
No.
So I was looking at the picture where the scan is of that whole intersection. How are we guaranteeing, or do you have snapshots that show us pictures of what a plot camera actually takes of that? So, my concern is you're going to get people coming down from Blueberry, you're going to get people coming from Highway 13, Mishmash, and if that camera's 16 feet up, we're looking at people now. How is that only going to register a license plate from that far away only? Does that camera have the ability to compress so it's only reading that?
Yeah, and if you look, the red mark is the red mark on here is the actual license plate reader one. That's this one here, and it's narrowed down. It'll only get, the red license plate reader will only get the northbound traffic. It's just in that northbound lane right here.
So what is the yellow
designating? The yellow one would be if they wanted to, there's a second camera. This one is it doesn't read license plates, it doesn't recognize plates, but you could have a live, it would be a live view camera, so then you could go back and just look at the car. So if you got a call like an attempted abduction, or if there was a burglary at when we had that burglary right here at the fire hall, you could ultimately go back here and pull up the data from that live view camera again. It would hold for 30 days and see if any cars drove through that intersection and get a vehicle's descriptions.
How does that impact people under the influence? Coming either out of the casino, coming down? If that camera has the ability to go that far,
I guess I'm not sure what.
It's not surveillance.
No.
Well,
Yeah, all it does is take a picture of the,
You can ask them about it.
well,
It doesn't have face recognition. I read the thing.
Yeah, there's no facial, it doesn't, you can't see people, it doesn't track people. Like I say, this would be the yellow one would basically, like I say, be the live view one, and that would be, like when I was with Ashland County, we had the casino robbers, or the armed robbers that went into the casino. God forbid something like that happens, but then you could go back and, odds are they're going to have to come through here. We would have, they have good cameras there to begin with now, but we'd be able to see which direction of travel and stuff they went. But it won't, let's say it's not used for, you can't use it to look for drunk drivers or impaired drivers or anything like that. This is for, like I say, if there was a crash here, you could look and see how serious the crash was, to know how the responding units should respond to the scene.
good enough answer. Thanks.
where would the feed go to? Would it go to Bayfield County or to Redcliffe?
It goes to the plot servers, and then we've got logins, so you could log in from your laptops. We want to get the Redcliffe officers access, but right now we're having issues with their email addresses aren't being recognized, because it's like a .org maybe, not a .gov. And then there's multi-factor authenticity, that was called, before you can access it. So we're working on trying to get the regular officers access as well, but it's right now it would be each of the deputies has a login for their spots.
So you only have access to your spots, like you couldn't go and say access one down in Madison?
Yeah, you can share the cameras, so we can run, and then that's the other thing you can see. If anybody, we share our cameras with a lot of state and local agencies, no federal agencies. We can dictate who we share our cameras with, and then we share cameras with people from all over, law enforcement agencies all over the country.
Would this camera be another one of those that the information would be shared, like that you would share widely?
Yeah, with other law enforcement agencies, correct.
Okay.
And all the information that the only information you're saying that would be shared would be just the license plate in the car, right?
Correct. Yeah, and that would be if,
like there would be no identifying the driver or
correct.
Anything like that?
Right, it's just a license plate and a picture of the car. It doesn't say who the car is registered, it doesn't tell us anything like that, no people involved. It's just like if we have a vehicle stolen from here, or we have someone, a suicidal person that leaves our county, we can punch that license plate in, and all the cameras we share, it will let us know if that car went past there. So now we had one, for instance, it wasn't ours, it was a suicidal person from Chicago, Illinois. No ties up here or anything, we'd have no reason to even look for this car. That car, once we punched the plate in, just to check out, just to see if it by chance came up here, found out it hit a camera in Ashland County. So we knew, and then it didn't hit the ones up here, so we knew it didn't come across US 2, and that this vehicle was in Ashland County. So they put the resources in Ashland County in this area to try to find this person to help them out. And then it was like a day later, they went back south, and then they hit a camera. I think got found over in Forest County. Again, the guy had no ties, no reason to be over there, but the cameras, we were able to, people that were tracking down to find his location to help, give him help he needed based on the location of the cameras.
One thing just to note for council, if they were unaware, AI is becoming a really huge cause of water consumption that's happening to cool the generators and stuff. So being mindful of the environmental impacts of AI is something that we should, just if you weren't aware of.
And I will summarize again that obviously we know we're generally understaffed. We have crimes occurring 24/7. We're looking for some technological assist with trying to do something that we can't staff for. And I think, the worst situation is an abducted person, child, adult, doesn't really matter. And obviously this would be very useful for a situation like that. But even just the general day-to-day drug trafficking occurrences or crimes against people or anything that helps us get an advantage on trying to cut ahead in the investigation when we're already bogged down most of the time. This is nothing that needs an AC/DC power connection from any electrical company. It's solar powered and it's cellular data use. So this going up is something we're asking for the trust and just belief, and then we can put it up and try it out and see if that is a benefit for the community and come back to the table if this is not working.
What would you think a good time frame would be for a trial, Kyle?
It sounds like they can,
6 months? almost,
Oh,
a year.
How long have we tried it for?
Yeah.
I mean, the camera is there in existence whether or not we put it in our community. We're just trying to select to put it here for the use that we can capitalize on, but
And that's what I'm asking, if the council was to approve this, on a trial basis, what time frame do you think that you could have some data that can be looked at and, you know, weigh the risk versus reward?
I would say it wouldn't be beneficial to do anything other than all the seasons. A year. But, I mean, obviously with any order saying remove the camera, I mean, that can come sooner than that from the council.
Ideally, no news after a year would be awesome news.
Or
We didn't have to.
good
news.
Right. And also, just to clarify, because I want to make sure everyone is understood so we know how to move forward. The yellow is providing an option of a live view camera that is different than the LPR. So this would be a proposal for potentially 2 cameras. One is just the LPR in the red and one is the live view. So the live view would be obviously used to gather more information or evidence based on potential crime or investigation. The red would strictly give you the vehicle and plate identification only, which is very beneficial when you have nothing, but just like putting a sailing or Meraki camera up like we have all over, there is strong benefits to something that gives us more view of what all had happened on that instance.
Do you know if the cameras oscillate? No.
So the live camera would also go straight to the clock database, and then, so all those companies that you approve to access that information will have access to that live camera feed too?
I believe we don't have any live ones right now. That's the one we're just looking at now. I believe they do. I think we have to approve those ones separate from the stationary ones. But I'm not 100% sure. But I believe I believe they would have access. We would have to approve it.
So would administration have some feedback or input on to which companies or which organizations will have access to that data?
The administration has met with Sheriff Williams and Kyle on this topic and asked that the data sovereignty and the data ownership be reviewed by legal prior, and that we have expressed concerns over what agencies would or would not, and the sheriff has confirmed that that's at our discretion. And we work in partnership with the county. We are also a public law 280 state, so state and tribal and county resources work together on reservation. But yes, we share your concern. Any other questions for Sheriff or Kyle on this topic? Otherwise, we would consider council action to proceed with a plan to implement.
I'm gonna first make a comment, and then I'm gonna make a motion to support this on a trial basis. We sit here every 2 weeks, and we have council, we have community members come here and talk about the drug problem. We have community members that come here and talk about burglary, about theft, about other items. And this is one of these situations, again, where I think we have to consider the risk versus reward. In regard to AI, you know what, man? Anybody on Facebook, frickin' AI's all over you already. Anybody on Instagram, AI knows who you are, knows who your kids are, knows who everybody is. They know where the hell you're walking. You know, they have frickin' location stuff. And that's, you know, trying to, we sit here as a council to benefit this community. And I think that this is worth trying out on a trial basis. To see the benefits or see the negative results. And with that, Chairwoman, I'm going to make a motion to approve the flock camera for a trial basis of 1 year.
I'm just a little concerned with.
Wait, we have a motion, so if someone wants to second it, or he can rescind, or the motion can die, and then we'll have discussion. We do have a motion on the floor from Rick, Vice Chairman.
I'll second.
In discussion.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the warrantless searches, and whether they're constitutional. I think that we are obligated to look after our membership, and if we're opening that door, yeah, I think there needs to be more discussion.
I have a question.
Well, let's let Sheriff answer the warrantless search comment, and maybe Chief can contribute, but.
Sure, and I mean, there's no searches. I mean, it's basically the cars are driving on a public highway. It's no different than me looking at that plate number, RCP C44. That's the information we're getting. That's the information that's coming. There's no other information being gathered from the SWAT system. We're getting a license plate number and a vehicle description. There's no. I can take that plate number or any of the other plate numbers in my squad car, type it in the system, and I can get the registered owner, the vehicle information, when it expires, if there's a lien on it, all the owner information, and then with the owner information, get your driver's information if you ever have any citations or anything. You know, I'll have all that information based on me just running that same plate in my computer. All Flock is giving me is a picture of the license plate number in the car that's being driven down the road. It's not accessing any information from that. Someone could sit at the roundabout or sit out here in the intersection and take pictures of every license plate that drives by, and they would have the same data that law enforcement's getting from the cars that drive by. So, you know, from the cameras. So, you know, it's not getting anything that's not out there on the public roads anyways. We're not accessing any systems or anything like that. They're not accessing the DOT. They're not doing anything like that. All they're doing is comparing that license plate number to a hot list that comes up.
Yeah, I'm not understanding the concern either, Ms. Steve, on unwarranted searches related to the flock camera implementation, or whether you're feeling like it's another tool for profiling, or I'm trying to understand what you're expressing, but that sounds more like an ethical discussion, and whether or not we have concerns with our tribal police and county and other state officials that are, you know, our law enforcement.
No, I definitely see the benefits to something like this, especially the drug traffic in our community. Yeah, just the ethics behind the unwarranted searches was just a concern. But in your motion, Rick, I didn't catch, what was your time period for a trial period?
1 year, and that's what I asked Kyle when I asked what he thought a good time frame would be. He said 1 year, so, you know, I would think we would have some decent data to evaluate after a year.
Any other discussion? If not, we have a motion on the floor from Rick for approval of consideration for a 1 year period, second by Nikki. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Are you opposing? Shania opposes, motion carries. Thank you both for your work. Thank you also, Lien, for bringing your attention, and feel free to share any data or information that you have as well with Chief Hall. If you don't know Chief Hall over here, Butch.
Kyle, can you inform us when it is installed and make sure there's parameters in place to ensure that there's not abuse of the system? Thank you.
We are going to move on. We are going to move on to item 9, the Treasurer's Financial Status Report for September 2025. Treasurer Gordon has asked Secretary Butch to present on her behalf because she's not able to be here.
Thank you, Chairwoman. So, everybody has a copy of this.
Any questions? Laura asked me to take them down and she'll respond pretty quickly. If not, you can turn your rotation view so you can see it.
Are there any questions on the report? If not, we are also planning for very in-depth and thorough discussion at the retreat next week on the end of year finance, which this report kind of gives us, and talk about recoveries and some of the changes for fiscal year 26.
I don't see any red marks on there, so I'll make a motion to accept the Treasurer's Financial Status Report for September 25.
Second. You have a motion by Angie, second by Nick. Or tied second. We don't rock, paper, scissors around here, we leg wrestle, and Nikki's got a bum leg, so she wins. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carried. Next on the agenda is the National Congress of American Indians membership renewal. We are seeking council authorization to renew our membership. We are then a voting member of the National Congress of American Indians, and have been for many decades.
I'll make the motion to approve.
We have a motion by Shania and a second by Angie. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We need resolution number, please.
Resolution 10/2025B.
Item 11 on the agenda, Natasha, have you come for a close hazard mitigation plan?
Who's your counsel? I'm definitely not parking over there next time.
Is that your car?
Say, yeah, how come, Natasha? That's all right. You know expectation of privacy when your license plate is on the front of the car.
But yeah, so I'm here for the Tribal Hazard Mitigation Plan. This is a comprehensive document that identifies natural and human-caused hazards likely to affect the community, and it outlines strategies to reduce or eliminate long-term risks. This plan was based on a grant that was acquired in 2019, I want to say, and we're just kind of wrapping it up now. Once this plan is approved, we can close out that grant. And this The plan itself also will help us with other federal funding moving forward. Reach out to Natasha and the team for our work on this.
I'll make a motion to approve and adopt the rest of the tribal hazard mitigation.
We have motion by Shania, second by Butch. Any other discussion?
Good job.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. You got it, Natasha.
English Council.
Item 12 on our agenda, adult conditional membership relinquishment request. Jesse is not here, but you can see the relinquishment is in your packet and supported by action resolution. It's a voluntary relinquishment request. It's been reviewed by the membership committee.
I'll make a motion to approve MSC's relinquishment request.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Angie, a second by Misty. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 16, others. Resolution number, sorry.
Resolution 10/2025C as in cat.
If we have no other business, council will have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ann, I can hear you, Keith, with that one. All those in favor, please say aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned 5:17 p.m.
Nick.
Come on.
I know I can barely hear, so when I do hear.
I'll make sure Brendan hears.
The projector would be on the floor, looking up and not on the ceiling. Do what they do.
Sorry, guys, I just want to have a conference.
Here, these are.
Oh, shoot. If you want me to pick you up, we'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you where we don't stop.
This Sunday?
What up, Char?
How you doing, Nicole?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Yeah? And you're always so fit. I was just like,
Oh.
you?
I can't say.
Rice. Legs must be big. Your legs must be steel, man. Rice, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You get used to it. It doesn't, it's not painful. Just go a little bit
Yeah, my
further
cousin
every
just
time.
away, you know, Jeff was like, oh, this big. He used to tell me, oh, you should ride a bike, man, it's so good for your knees. I'm thinking, where am I here?
Who said that?
Oh, the rest of those chairs are low.
Oh.
Huh?
Chairs are low.
Oh, yeah. Have I ever told you about the
Yeah.
car?
I heard we're gonna get.
I gotta go to a school board meeting.
We out from Deer Head, who knows them all. There's at least 3 of them. One of them's a female. Huh? Well, like the eagle has a white head and a white tail because that's the Arctic and the Antarctic. So we're like chalices with soul juice in them.
Be quick, Johnny, for all you do.
Yeah, John. I'll feed you breakfast tomorrow. Wherever you are.
Oh, you guys having breakfast in there? Oh, Friday, we did breakfast.
Huh?
Yeah, she was like, you look right there.
What is it?
She told me I'll be here.
Alright. First she was like, I don't want to go.
Right.
And I was like, okay, then I'm not going to go either.
So this is like,
They
this is the height
had
of,
regionals on Tuesday too.
Yeah.
For volleyball. I'm like, well, okay, alright, I said, that would be good. She
oh,
said,
this structure there.
What rank did they get?
First one is the
they
nun,
played drum and again.
and then the eyes are the
They
last
beat them the
meeting.
first game, then lost the next two, but I'm like, they're scrappy. I was like, everything you guys hit, they picked up. That week you guys said, so we didn't mark our stuff with it.
It's not marching season, that's in the Irish thing, and that's in their homelands. Marching season.
Okay, young man. Got a little bit of work to do.
I'm gonna read this today.
Where is it? Hold on, next.
Alright,
When
we
they
gotta
get the thing?
go back to work.
Oh, they said they're gonna put a bunch of cameras and all.
Art? I'd probably, how many do we have?
We got 20 of them.
20?
That would be exciting.
Can you bring them down?
Yeah.
Because we may end up, we're reserving 35 rooms, I guess. So unless it's one person per room, but even at that, then they're going to have a volume.
I figured that way if I didn't have to haul the 3 cases.
Yeah. Taper on this? Good. Why not?